Hi, I'm Christopher Hine, and today we're going to talk about some more Atemi Waza. So this is the last little part I was talking to you guys about in the receiving Atemi Waza, and how not to do that silly thing, and how distance is important, and how to actually correctly follow the context as I outline it in my approach anyway. So if you're interested in how I talk about that, this video is for you. I'm going to call Josh over here. We're going to go to work. Josh? All right. So let's talk about receiving Atemi Waza, and this is the last one in the receiving series on Atemi Waza that I'm going to talk about. So I think a really important thing to remember, and that we always forget, is that we should be keeping a distance of our 1-step ma'ai or greater when we're dealing with someone who has a weapon, right? So in the last series we talked that the reason we have the Atemi Waza we have in Aikido is because there's a weapon at play, right? And then we talked about how our basic ideas about that is to get my hand up, and then if my timing is such, I make some kind of blend with it that works really well for me, right? Okay, now understand that I shouldn't be waiting for him to get to the distance that he wants to attack me, because it's likely that if he gets to that distance, he's going to cut me before I can do anything, right? So I'm putting myself behind by always doing that. So what I'm trying to do is increase the distance to at least this distance or greater, so that way I dictate when he strikes, right? Now, I can only dictate it so much because he always has to choose when to strike. So there's going to be certain times when I'm looking for him to strike, right? Whether he gets me in a corner or whether he thinks he's running up on me, whatever it is. And those are the moments I'm looking for. And that's when I have to make my blend. So lots and lots of training from this 1-step distance is important, because ideally, if you're working it right, they won't get inside of that 1-step distance. Once they get inside that 1-step distance, he has all the advantage, right? But at the 1-step distance, I have enough time to actually blend successfully with him. Okay, now this is where we get away from the I'm coming bro with the knife way up in the air, right? Okay, what should be happening is Josh should just be normally tracking me around, right? We only got so much room, but he should just be normally trying to track me like this, okay? Now notice he doesn't have to hold the knife up in the air, he doesn't have to run, he doesn't have to signal anything. My job is to keep him at the distance where it's difficult for him to attack me, and he'll have to lunge in to get me, right? So that's what dictates that. Now a lot of times as uke, we run in like this because we wanted to know we're coming with a yokoman or a shoman, right? So we're being nice. You shouldn't do that. He should just keep his hands down, and I should be trying to make that distance constantly. And then all of a sudden, when he thinks he can strike, he will lunge, and that's when I need to be able to make good blends with him, right? So my good blend comes because there was an opportunity for him inside of that distance to make it work. So that's how we get rid of the big I'm coming for you bro thing. And that's how we should always be setting up our jiwaza. Don't think that I am trying to get the knife from him. What I'm always trying to do is just keep distance. If I could spend all my jiwaza time just keeping distance from him, then that's what I would do. And that's different than the drills, right? So remember the drills, when we had all the flowing drills, right? I want to practice him coming in and then switching over, and then me having to deal with that attack, and then him switching over and me having to deal with that attack, and so forth and so on, right? So those drills train us how to adapt to the blends. But in our jiwaza time, we should be trying to keep a great distance. That's what we're learning, is to keep distance. And he'll be practicing trying to work us into the corners. And as he works us into the corners, he's going to find times it's good for him to attack. Now, I should be highly aware of that time and be ready to blend with it, right? So that's the basic progression. There's no big secret there other than to conceptually understand what's going on. I don't want to get in close to a guy with a knife because that's where he has his advantage. I want to make him disadvantaged by having to lunge out far to get me. And in that lunging out far is all of our classic Aikido blends. So all those blends you learned are used only at that distance. If he closes in on that distance, those blends are not going to become good for him. So really what you should be practicing is how to keep the distance ideal for you. That's good Aikido. So that, I know that wasn't a big super secret mystery, but that's basically how it works, and we avoid the I'm coming for you bro or holding the thing, right? He should just be walking around normally trying to track me down, and then when the opportunity arises that I should be able to see before he sees, then to be able to blend with his lunging in attack. So I'm Christopher Hine, this is Joshua Teehee, and Maya Solana McDaniel is behind that camera right over there that's acting weird, so we might not even be seeing it because it's acting weird. But if you're seeing it, then it's working fine and everything's great. All right, we'll see you in the next video.